Hello. Today we're going to talk about how to properly style curly hair and also how to do a wash and a condition. I know that a lot of you might alternate between washing and co-washing, and that's okay, but today we're going to talk about how to wash and style. So if you're washing your hair, whether this is your first time using these products or you've done it multiple times, you're going to always want to wash twice. The first wash is to really lift debris off your hair and move that dirt and grime away, and that second wash is really going to get it off your head and then start hydrating, nourishing, and balancing your scalp. So first things first, when you get in the shower, get your hair totally soaked, and even go ahead and use your finger pads to scrub your scalp. Use your finger pads, not your nails. You don't want to cause rips or tears in your scalp. So get it totally soaked, really scrub your scalp, and when that's done, you're going to add shampoo. You're going to add about this much, about a quarter size or less of shampoo, and this first time that you do it, you're going to repeat that same process. You're going to really get in there and scrub with the pads of your fingers, and it probably will not lather very much. That's okay. Get in there and do a good 1-minute scrub. Rinse it out and then repeat with about the same amount of shampoo. You might actually find that with time you can use less, and this time it should lather up a little bit more. But take into account these products do not contain detergents, so they might lather up a little bit but not as much as other shampoos you might be used to. So really get in there, and with that second wash, do a nice scalp scrub using your finger pads for another minute. The key about these products is with that second wash, you really want to leave that shampoo and give it the time to sit for at least a minute so that it can really get into your scalp and nourish the follicle bed. Rinse that out, and if this is the first time you're washing, or if you have time, I would really suggest using the mask if you got one. And with that mask, what you want to do is use about a thumbful or 2 thumbfuls if it's a mask that you can dip into. If it's a mask that you're squeezing out of a tube, same thing, use about a quarter size amount, and honestly that might be a little bit too much, and finger comb it through your hair all the way to the edges. With a mask, you want to let it sit for at least 5 minutes. So I like to start my shower with my hair, so I can let my mask sit while I'm finishing up my shower. Finger comb it through all the way through to your edges. Start at your roots, finger comb it through to your edges, and then what I like to do is I like to actually wrap my hair and let it sit on top of my head for the rest of my shower before I rinse it out. That way it's not getting wet, it's not being accidentally washed out, and it has time to really sit and penetrate my dry ends. It has time to really sit and penetrate all the way from my follicle down to the end of my shaft and really seal my cuticles. On days that you're using the mask, you do not need to follow up with a conditioner, and you should only be using your mask once to twice a month. The thing about masks is that they often contain protein, and you don't want your hair to get too much protein, but you want it to have a healthy balance. So if you're using the mask too much, any kind of mask, you might find your hair to be stringy or a little bit brittle over time. So once to twice a month is a very good rule of thumb. I personally only use it once a month, so it lasts forever, literally. So once you have let the mask sit for a good 5 to 10 minutes, and I know some people actually let it sit for a lot longer than that. They'll get out of the shower, they'll finish up some things around the house, and they'll go back in and rinse it out. But once you have finished letting it sit, go ahead and rinse it out completely. And if you're finding it difficult to rinse out, you probably use a little bit too much, so next time use a little bit less. But rinse it out completely, and then I like to scrunch out the excess water out of my hair. I don't wring it. Curly hair really needs hydration, it needs water, so just scrunch out that excess water. Then when I get out of the shower, I like to use our curl cream. The packaging has actually changed. I got this back when it was being trialed as one of the only For You products of the month. So my packaging looks a little bit different, but I love this curl cream. So I'll use about the same, like maybe a quarter size amount, maybe a little bit more. Right now I wasn't paying attention, so I kind of have a lot on my hands. But I'll rub it through my hands to kind of warm it up and activate it. And then I like to turn my head upside down, let me show you, and finger comb it through my hair. The thing about curls is that finger combing really allows the curl to shape itself without you ruining its natural shape like often happens with a comb. So finger combing is always the go-to for curls. If you feel like you must use a comb, I would recommend using a wide tooth comb. instead of using a regular comb. And you'll find that especially after that mask, your hair should be pretty easy to comb through. If it's your first time using the products, it might be a little more difficult because your hair still has junk, it still has a little bit of buildup from old product and old chemicals that stick and coat your hair. But you'll notice that over time, as you're continuing to wash and condition and use these products, that your hair should become easier to comb through. Okay, so I've now feel like I've gotten a good amount of the curl cream through my hair. And actually my hair was sitting for a little bit, so it wasn't as wet as I really wanted it to be. So now what I'll do is I'll keep my head upside down and I'll scrunch my curls up a bit. Just my hands, scrunching it up towards my scalp to activate my curls and help them form a bouncy shape. And you can play around with this and see how much curl cream you actually need for your hair. But I like to say that less is more, and with the idea of saving product, start out using less, and then over time you'll realize how much you actually need or how little you need. Okay. So after a curl cream, and you can do the same thing with a leave-in conditioner if you're using that instead. Curl creams and leave-in conditioners, they're not really to be used interchangeably, but some people's hair needs a little bit more moisture, so the leave-in conditioner is great. On some days or some months or certain times of the year, you'll notice your hair doesn't need as much moisture, so curl creams are better. Some people use both. Today I'm just using a curl cream. During January and February, I pretty heavily used a leave-in conditioner just because my hair was so dry. And my blonde was so dry. So you've got that curl cream spread through your hair. What do you do now? I really love to use a mousse. So I have this mousse. It's called Moxie Magnifying Mousse. And actually sometimes I use a split-end mender, which I'm gonna grab really quickly. And the reason I'm grabbing this split-end mender is because my hair is blonde, I have really brittle ends, and this product has helped me a lot with keeping my split ends away, mending the ones that I had, and helping with breakage. So I'll just finger comb this through the bottom half of my hair. I don't need it all over my hair, it's really to heal your dry, coarse ends and to protect your hair from future breakage. If you're using this on your children, your kiddos, this probably is something that they might not need. As we get older, our hair starts to break a lot more easily. So I actually do like to work it through the very front of my hair because the front of my hair tends to break. So I will finger comb that through. And you guys, I'm doing a speed style. The thing about me is I don't like to spend a lot of time on my hair. So this video is now going on 8 minutes. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so after you're done with your base product, your curl cream, your leave-in conditioner, anything like that, the split-end mender if you're using it, I like to use a mousse rather than a gel, but you use what you prefer for your hair. The Moxie Magnifying Mousse, I use about 3 pumps, and you can use a mousse of your choice. And the same thing, I'll rub it between my hands a little bit to activate it because it contains our Rejuvenique oil. So I want to make sure that oil is activated, and then I'll finger comb it through my hair. And again, it's probably best if you turn your head upside down. So you're making sure you're getting the front, you're making sure you're getting underneath, and you're making sure you're getting your whole curl. My hair is still pretty wet, and that's okay. And then again, I'll go through and scrunch my hair to activate my curl and help it take its natural shape. Now, if you have a problem area that you know gets really frizzy, what you could do is do ribboning or do a finger twirl of that area where you go like this. In the same direction the curl naturally forms itself. This week I'm playing around with not doing that though. So I'm just gonna do a couple and then flip my hair to the side that I prefer my part to be and let it be. My part is usually kind of right here. Even if I don't part it myself, it'll almost always find its way there. So I'll just help it out a little bit. And I'm done. So your choice, you can choose to diffuse your hair, you can choose to let it air dry. You can also scrunch up a little bit more of the excess water with a cotton t-shirt if your hair is still really sopping wet. I usually actually like to style my hair when it's a little bit wetter, but I had to get my phone ready, I had to gather my supplies to make this video. So if you let your hair air dry, it's going to protect it from heat, right? You're going to use less heat. But if you choose to diffuse, it's always best to do it on low heat. Turn your hair upside down, your head upside down, and just very lightly cup your curls with the diffuser and press up. Low heat, I like to diffuse till I'm about 70% dry, and I'll let it air dry the rest of the way. If you're finding that you're flat on the tops of your hair, what you could do is use clips to lift those areas before you diffuse or while you're letting it air dry. I hope this video was helpful. I'll probably make another one in the future that's a little bit more organized, but let me know if this was helpful. Let me know what other questions you have, and let me know how I can help you with your hair, how I can help you with your curls, and what you need help with. Because I'm loving these products, I'm loving how that they have healed and really maintained the health of my hair, and I hope that you get the same results. Bye guys!